let's tell each other a secret about ourselves. I'm gonna go first. I hate
Kitty Noir. It's no secret that the Miraculous hero designs are, let's say, controversial. There's a lot of people who like them, but there's also a lot of people who actively criticize them. Me being one of those people. But as much as I would love to dig into some of these design choices, I'm looking at you, Kitty Noir. One of my passions is character design, so merely discussing why these designs might be bad isn't super beneficial. Instead, I decided to see how much merit these designs actually have and answer the question, what do the hero suits tell us about the characters wearing them? Before we start, we have a sponsor. It's me. I'm the sponsor. I'm gonna plug my Miraculous comic. In a world 25 years in the future, where all the Miraculouses have been stolen, and some of the heroes have seemed to gone rogue, some new heroes must emerge, one of which being someone with a completely new Miraculous, which seems to surprisingly have a Kwame who's a white version of Plague. Does this seem interesting to you? Well, you can read Miraculous Stolen Power on Tapas. Link down in the description. Now on to the analyzing.
Adrien sent! Look, Adrien's present!
Now to start off, we have to start out with our main character, Marinette. Who else? Now Marinette has so many hero suits to choose from, but I will only be focusing on her base Miraculous suits, so her Ladybug, Upgrade Ladybug, Lady Noir, and Multi-Mouse suits. Now pushing her upgraded Ladybug suit to the side, we are left with what I would call the default versions of these Miraculouses. All of these are simple to say the least, only really showcasing the base elements and color schemes of each Miraculous. This does really showcase a mentality of Marinette's where she treats being a hero as not much more than a job or a responsibility that she has to do. While she might have some fun as her superhero identities, it often comes back to the responsibilities of being a hero, being one more stress in her life. After all, that is a lot of the internal conflict she had in Season 4. But in contrast, her upgraded Ladybug suit finally gives some spice to her hero suits. Her collar has this little ladybug symbol. She's given herself gloves of sorts, and the biggest and best thing is that she's influenced a sort of pant shape into her suit. Unfortunately, these elements don't really tell us a lot about Mari's character or fashion, since frankly these elements resemble average clothing. The gloves are the exception, but there's nothing here that really screams anything about Marinette's character. I guess it tells us that she's basic, I don't know. However, there is something that I've neglected to talk about, and that's her hairstyles. Being a fashion designer, I'm sure Marinette has studied a good bit about choosing a good silhouette for her designs, and this is illustrated perfectly through her different hairstyles. Her usual pigtails resemble little wings, her long braid both resembles and acts like a tail, and her buns look like mouse ears. I genuinely think this is where her hero suits really shine, even with her simple outfits. There was clearly a lot of thought put into the hairstyle she chooses for each hero identity.
Hi, ma'am. Which were you looking?
Moving on to Adrien, he too, like Marinette, has quite a few suits to look at. Unlike her though, they're widely varied. Cat Noir, Mr. Bug, and Aspic all have different feelings and aesthetics to their suits, and honestly, that in itself gives us something about Adrien. He's impressionable. Living in a very sheltered environment has probably left him in a state where he's like a very moldable mound of clay, unable to truly form his own identity away from his guardians, to the point where when he is given something from the outside world, like the Miraculous, he probably listens to it more than it does to him. It's also probably why he gravitated towards school so much at the beginning of the show, so he could try to form a new identity outside of what his life was inside the Agress mansion. He's also a very empathetic person, leading more into the idea that the Miraculous itself, or the Kwame, might have a bit more control over what the suit looks like than what might first be assumed. Although, this isn't to say he has no agency, that's directly stated in Frightening Gale. Though, there are what I would like to call Adrien staples within all these suits. Shoulder pads, chest armor, and glove or glove-like shapes that go up to the elbow exist on all three designs. There's a part to this that says that Adrien likes to be well protected while fighting. But in my opinion, these repeated elements more so illustrate a lack of creativity that Adrien has, keeping these staples within all three suits. This element of his character was actually showcased in Reflect All, where his lucky charm is exactly what he asked for. but I can't blame him. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Not so much for Aspic though. Aspic, for some reason, showcases that the aggressed men like to go bald. I don't know why, but they do.
It's Adrien! He's here and he wants to see you!
Next is Alya, and she's interesting because, well, her two suits are eerily similar to one another. However, unlike Adrien's, I don't think this is from a lack of creativity. Instead, I think this is a sort of branding. Alya is a fairly professional character. Not only that, but she also has her lady blog, so she also has an online presence to uphold. She probably knows what makes you seem more professional and legit. So in this case, it's more likely that she used her Reno Rouge design elements, an established hero, and branded it onto Scarabella so that she could seem more legit when wearing the Ladybug Miraculous, something that flew completely over Cat Noir's head. We once again see that the hairstyles shine with these suits. Both of them have their hair pulled back in different ways, probably a decision so that her hair wouldn't get in the way when she's fighting. Though, looking at all the suits in this video, it's made me realize that a lot of thought has been put into the hairstyles of these character designs. Sometimes a lot more than the thought put into the actual heroes. Now, one more thing to note. Alya, why is this the placement of your yo-yo? Why is it at the crotch? I can't even place this into my character design analysis, cause it's so odd. Maybe having it act as a necklace would be better, but like this ain't it.
It was time to end all the lies and secrets. I'd always wanted to have a mustache anyway.
Now, going to Nino, the only thing that I can really describe his suit as is it feels like Nino. This might be kind of stupid to say, but when you look at Carapace's whole outfit, it just feels like it was a Nino creation. A lot of this does come from the fact that Carapace is one of the few heroes that doesn't wear a mask, instead opting for having those goggle-like glasses. This highlights a part of Nino's character that is honestly shown with a decent amount of spotlight: his openness. He isn't someone to keep secrets, and he's honestly pretty bad at it, so him being someone to badly conceal his identity makes sense for him. There's also a part of the suit that feels like he's playing a character which falls more in line with his more dramatic side, which we've seen a few times in the show. He wears this hood, he has elbow and shin guards, and honestly these over-the-top shoes. On top of that, in this transformation, he breakdances. Sure, he DJs, but all of this is resembling someone who is just a bit too cool for someone who crashed out at his girlfriend potentially cheating on him with a superhero with no real evidence. Getting back on topic, there's not a lot I can say about this suit, which is fine. Like I said at the beginning, it's very much Nino.
What has possessed Ladybug to choose such losers as her superheroes?
Now, we're gonna end it off with Chloe, and only Chloe. I would much rather end this video on a high note than rant about how the bee does nothing for Zoe and that she only starts to be interesting in season 5. Now, Chloe's Queen Bee suit is, at its core, a statement piece about how she is the queen. It embodies both her entitled attitude, but also her want to be the most important person in the room. Her high ponytail, her overly long shoe and glove pattern, her heels, and the stripe on her chest resembling the top of a dress all give her the aura that she's here for business, which perfectly mirrors how Ladybug is. This was at a time where Chloe actually liked Ladybug, so it makes perfect sense for her to be mirroring Ladybug with her suit. I had this pointed out to me, but her suit is one of the more well-designed, with her suit following the pattern on multiple points, with a big space of black, a medium-sized stripe of black, and then a small stripe of black. This highlights a sort of cleanliness within Chloe, something that she comes to realize between her 3 focus episodes in season 2. It's a shame that she got replaced. That'll be it for this video. Do I think that the character designers put this much thought into the designs? Honestly, yes. While the character designers do not have my full faith, I will never forgive them for Heart Hunter's design. It's so ugly. Ew, why does it look like that? Ew. The designs discussed here do feel like they fit the characters that are wearing them. I can't imagine Chloe pulling up in Carapace's suit. That being said, some of the designs from later seasons need discussing because there are some stinkers. Okay, so a quick update before this video ends. I edited and recorded this video before the season 6 trailer was put out. They gave her such an upgrade. I'm gonna have to talk about the season 6 designs, because wow, are they doing a good job. But that's only if you want more. Also, if you read my comic, go read my comic!